Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, brought to you by the Crispus, the beer of summer. Beautiful for a summer arvo, watching the cricket or the fights on the weekend. Make sure to grab a case. Also, join the Bloke Club. Go to www.bloke.club. Our merch drops going forward will most likely just be for the Bloke Club. At the very least, it'll be early access for the Bloke Club. As you know, the shorts, only Bloke Club members had access to them. So go and join the Bloke Club. Takes 20 seconds. You don't have to put in credit card details, nothing. It's completely free. It's easy, and you will get benefits that the general public won't come near. They'll be jealous. Make the general public jealous by joining the Bloke Club. Very easy. But I have the great Hello Sport here, Tom and Eddie and Tom, of interview of Ricky Ponting and Tom Trbojevic in the same week, and Jake Trbojevic in the same week.
Yeah.
If you thought you could reach higher heights, did you ever think they would be this high?
Oh, this is pretty tippy-top stuff.
Yeah, this is.
Ricky Ponting, the second best after the Don. I mean, that's one of the great scalps all time, Tom.
Tom and Jake, two greatest players in the comp currently. Greatest brother partnership after Brett and Glenn, purely based on premierships.
That's right. Tommy going on to arguably be the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly, I'd almost make him an immortal tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Well, today.
Today.
So you ordered
Savo. Yeah, the Savo.
You interviewed two goats in 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
two
right.
goats
The goat
in 1
wranglers.
week. Yeah, we are
goat wranglers.
We are
by
goat
trade, Tom
wranglers.
and I.
Got a long
People get us
story
out into
history.
the hills out west to wrangle goats because they're worth a shitload.
We can
overseas.
break in a goat.
Well, we break them in, then we herd them, and then we sell them.
Yeah.
We wrangle.
Do you get a lot of calls like, "Oh, you couple of goat wranglers, can you come out to me farm?" And do you guys go, "Oh, we can do that, but that's not actually the goat wrangling that we do."
Well, it is actually. We do both. We wrangle goats in sport, but we also have a very successful and profitable side hustle, which is just wrangling wild goats.
What people don't understand, probably, a lesson for a young player like yourself, is that in order to wrangle prize goats like your Ricky Ponting, like your Tom Trbojevic, you need to be able to wrangle the real thing, a goat out in the bush, out in the scrub.
Yep.
Till you've chased a goat through the scrub and brought him in from the hills down to the flats and into the paddock
Broken him in, gained his trust.
and into the yard and then onto the truck, you won't catch no real goat.
No.
I mean, sliding through the depths of DMs is very similar to running through the bushes of a farm or mountains. So I guess that's where...
Well, mate, if you're good at your craft, they'll reach out to you.
So your goat wrangling...
So the goat comes to us.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You're past the period of, having to...
We don't chase them anymore. No. They come to us.
You chase enough goats, goats start chasing you.
That's how it works. It's
You've
shocking, I
You've
know.
always said that.
I have always said that. My old man said that.
Yeah.
He's my old man too.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a family motto.
It is what it is.
When you first met, did you say that, like, if you wrangle enough goats?
Well, he
Goats-
knew.
yeah.
Like, you don't even need to say it.
No, it's one of those things where it's almost he sheepishly realizes, or they, that they've chased us.
Well, because then he's in a room with you, sort of comes to, and he's like, fuck.
I chased you.
I chased you. I've been wrangled.
The whole time
It
I
was
thought
my
you...
decision to be wrangled.
Yeah. The whole time I thought I was getting wrangled, but...
I wrangled myself, but that was because you wrangled me.
Fucking hell, there's levels. There are
it's an
fucking
inception.
levels.
There's levels to wrangling, and that's why Tom and I are the best, arguably.
Wranglers in town.
We're the best
wranglers
in the country.
town. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you've had an all-time week, that's for sure.
Definitely.
When we talk about goat wrangling...
Well, it's a great wrangle.
It's
Great week for wrangling.
Yeah.
great week for wrangling. Now, to grab a case of Bloke in a Bar...
Wrangle a case of bloke.
To wrangle a case of Bloke in a Bar, go to IGA Liquor Mascot, IGA Balcombe Hills, Corkscrew Cellars Rose Bay, Royal Hotel Orange, Bernardus IGA Forbes, Yamba Liquor, Hotel Metropole Proserpine, Eaton's Hill Hotel Beer Garden, Celebration Superstore Goodna, Yandina Hotel, Logan Village Drive, Glen Lee Cellars Leeton, or go to our website, chuck in your postcode, it'll show you the closest independent bottle shop, or go into your independent bottle shop and ask them to order some. Nationwide, we're in all the ALMs, so every single independent bottle, well most, should be able to order in 3 or 4 cases. So just go down, ask nicely, be polite.
If they say no, though, I'd threaten them, right? We do. Maybe
I can't, I guess, encourage you to threaten them.
We probably can because we're not connected directly to the business. So we'd be like, go in there like a flaming torch or something.
Look, I'm not. No comment.
Tire
No
iron.
comment. You said that it's something humans can do in that situation.
Yeah.
I can't confirm, deny whether I back that.
Get Bloke in here, you fucks, and you just hold up like a crowbar.
Yeah. Now, that may stop them from ever
Maybe.
socking us.
Maybe.
But I like big plays. I'm a big play kind of guy.
Yeah. It's that all or nothing play.
It's the fighter in him.
Yeah, it's a
You
fighter.
can't turn it off.
Yeah, it is a fighter in him. Yeah. And if
Who got bashed today?
yeah.
No, you don't actually do it.
How can I angle myself into a fight and then pretend to be the victim? That's him right
That's
there.
me. That's
and then
me.
come on a podcast, the biggest podcast in the country, sports anyway, and go, oh, I don't like fighting. Fuck. Even though you get in a punch on every week.
I definitely don't. I said this on our podcast, though. I saw the most terrifying road rage incident that I've ever seen, probably. And it didn't have anything to do with me, thank Christ.
You're around violence.
That's what I'm saying. He manifests it because he thinks about it all the time.
all the time.
I'm terrified of
He
violence.
loves it.
Do you sit in the shower like dreaming of fights? Like we think
No.
of like arguments, you think of fights. Like I should have
don't
thrown a
think of
right, I fucking should have.
I don't
You
throw
think
punches.
about it all the time. Your neighbours, you're like, fucking come here.
I think it's more that I
Pedestrians,
just
come
No,
here.
he moves into people like next door to people he hates because he knows that could create a fight. Whereas we try to move into like people we like. Hey mate, how you going? He's
I was
always
just
like,
trying to
"Fuck,
help the business."
I hope your dog shits on
I
the
was
lawn so
just
can come
trying to
and
help
flog
the
ya."
business. That's all I was doing. I just wanted Bloke to be stocked in every independent bottle shop in this country. And if you got to
Holy
bring a
shit,
crowbar
a
in,
crowbar. Jesus.
I'm trying to help you, dude.
That's wild.
You don't actually use it though. I will say that.
I mean, even to threaten it. And
I guess
also,
you are technically using it even if you're not swinging it.
Well, I mean, a crowbar as well. Could we start with something less aggressive?
Well, I said it. I said a flaming torch. That's not violent. That's just
You
intimidating.
could burn it down with a flaming
No,
torch.
because you don't torch it. You're just in there.
Well, I
going,
know
like,
with
Where are
you
you going to get
anymore.
your flaming torch from? Now
What are
I'm
you talking
interested.
about?
Who sells
Bunnings,
flaming
bruh.
torches?
Bunnings.
They sell like old
Well, they're
school
like tiki torches, you know,
Tiki
like
torches.
your little. Ooh, we got a little backyard sort of Hawaiian themed fucking birthday party.
Would
or
that
something.
be threatening? A tiki
Yeah, I'll be
torch?
like,
I
he
don't
wants to
know.
drink, he wants to party.
I guess if you come with the right attitude, it'd be threatening.
But
Well,
you
what the fuck's
clearly
this guy
wouldn't come with the
doing?
right attitude. You'll come with an aggressive attitude.
Well, if you're being
But I
threatened,
think those things go off like burn off an oil. Then you'd tip it, you'd fucking get all over.
well, you'd have to be
fuck.
careful about how you're using it. I don't know if you need a license for them or something, but you'd just be holding it very still. You
A
wouldn't want
tiki
any
torch
sudden
license.
movements because oil.
But I
would
think
go
the only one
fucking
vulnerable
everywhere.
to sudden movements
would be you.
would be you.
Look, there's a lot of work that needs to go into this idea, but I'm just trying to help.
I
you
was just
here.
wondering if you'd workshopped it before you
No.
brought it up.
I believe it or not, I rarely workshop many of the things I say on here before I say them.
It's just pure natural aggression that comes
Well,
out.
it's just uncontrolled dribble. That's for sure.
Like kind of when you do get angry and you say things you don't mean, but you tend to get to that point regularly.
No, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty measured, I think, most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure to grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. Before we start, make sure Kambosos versus Lopez this Sunday. So George Kambosos Jr. is arguably the best fighter in the country. In my opinion right now, I would say he's the best pound-for-pound Australian fighter. Currently fighting Lopez, who, if anyone follows boxing, just beat Lomachenko, who, to a lot of people, was the current pound-for-pound. Some people even think he was the greatest boxer of all time. So Lopez is a gun. He's a world champion. This is the highest stakes fight an Australian has had in quite a while. Obviously, we had Jeff Horn against Manny Pacquiao. I guess the slight difference there, obviously, Manny Pacquiao's a legend. The slight difference would be maybe Pacquiao is about 35, 36 at that stage. Lopez is a young prime bull at the start of his prime. So if Kambosos defeats Lopez in his weight division, he's the best, essentially the best fighter in the world.
Has Kambosos, what's his record?
I think it's like 20, no losses, 20.
Okay, so he hasn't lost either. We've got two
No
undefeated
losses.
hot boys.
He
here.
is a fucking beast. He's a beast.
He's
But
someone that we get hit up about all the time, and it's just like, I just haven't. It's crazy to be someone like, for him to be fighting in a guy of this level and in a fight of this magnitude, and we just don't hear anything about him.
Well, it's kind of like
Not enough.
No.
Certainly not enough.
he kind of didn't skip the Aussie scene. He cleaned out his whole division, cleaned it out.
Cleaned out the plumbers
Did
and
he
the
fight enough
leagueies.
plumbers?
How many leagueies did he fight?
That's the thing. I think he didn't fight enough plumbers.
Yeah.
I think it's a quota of you need at least 20 plumber skulls.
At least 20.
Yeah, you
You
got
got to
carry
afford
around
it.
in a bag.
And then also fought in fucking RSLs. You got to be fighting in fucking car parks.
well, that's how you get fights in RSLs.
Yeah.
Like, show us your plumber skulls.
Yeah, how many skulls of plumbers you got?
And then, like, if you move up to Kudos Bank, you got to have like 30 skulls
Yeah.
in a bag.
and his opponent, they actually need to see your plumbing certificate to say
Yes.
you're a qualified plumber.
Exactly.
You can't know apprentices.
No, you got no apprentices. You got to be fully qualified.
Fully fledged plumber. And then if you can sprinkle in a few rugby league players before you then leave the shores, you are arguably the biggest name in the country.
Well, you're box office king then.
Yep.
You know? But Kambosos, he skipped all that, and that's unfortunately why very few people know who he is.
But
Obviously, he's known, but
he's not.
He's not known.
He's not Paul Gallen.
Put it that way. Put it that way.
He's related, not related. So Billy Magoulias is partnered to his sister, I think. So they're kind of like, they know each other.
Oh, okay. So he does have some rugby league ties.
He has some rugby league ties. I think Roosters is his team. He's been on my show twice.
Okay.
Legend of a bloke. But the guy you see on camera is the guy he is 24/7. He is, he's like, honestly, he's like a Spartan warrior. He is constantly, he's like who you wish you were.
He's like me.
He's who you wish you were.
Well, no, you looked at me and you were about to say he's like you, basically.
He's
a lighter version.
He's like a version of you that is real.
He's a lighter version and he is better at boxing slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah.
You're probably closer in boxing skill than the Roman warrior skill set. But he is intense, but a great bloke, So Lopez has propelled himself into the top 10 of the world's pound-for-pound fighters, following his win against Vasily Lomachenko. So this is the fight of Kambosos' life.
What time do we know?
I think it would start around 1 Sydney time, the card.
Is it in the US?
It's in the US, so
Perfect.
it's 8 p.m. ET time.
Perfect.
1 a.m. GMT time. Main
1,
event
2 o'clock probably.
That's Sunday day.
This
Beautiful,
Sunday.
beautiful.
And so they'll probably walk out. Around 11 p.m. ET time or 4 a.m. GMT time. So that's usually around.
Did you know what any of those meant when you were just saying EMT and GMT?
Well, I'm pretty sure that GMT would be fucking
Greenwich Meridian time.
yeah, like
or
and
Greenwich
then
Mean?
E time would be like maybe
Meridian?
Oh, there was Greenwich Mean time.
Matt?
Is that why they say in the meantime?
in the meantime.
As a saying?
Where the fuck is Greenwich?
I think it's like above England.
Isn't it like the center of the fucking?
Is that where the day starts?
I think so.
Or where the day ends?
It's where time starts.
Because I always thought that the Pacific Islanders were sort of first cab off the rank.
For like New Year's and shit.
Yeah. For like, we'll lead you into battle sort of thing.
Of the day.
Of the day.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're leading the
You
battle.
finish it off, we'll get it going.
Where's Greenwich? Is it above England? Am I right? I'm not very good either with geography, so if I am, it's very impressive.
Is it in the middle of the ocean? Is it in England?
Is it a place?
Is it a place?
I thought it was like the center.
Why is Matt taking so long? All great questions.
All great
Yeah,
questions.
they are. I mean, I'm
And
trying to work.
questions we need answered because
What we do
otherwise it's
know,
going to plumb
what we do
my
know
mind.
now, we do know for sure now is it takes Matt 5 minutes to write where is Greenwich.
Yes.
That's what we do know for sure.
We do know that.
I was foolishly looking in USA time because I was looking at the Eastern time first. But yes, it's in London.
It's in where?
In London.
It just says London, UK.
Okay,
London,
I did
UK.
say above London, but
What's it stand for?
Greenwich Mean Time.
Meantime.
Greenwich Meantime. In the meantime.
in the meantime.
Like that. Where does that kick off or end the day? Or is it not even fucking relevant?
What do you mean?
Like, as in,
Where's the earliest? Who starts New Year's off? Like, who would be the first person into the new year? What
Just
area?
Google which country starts New Year's off.
There you go.
Fiji. They love to party.
So now I'm
They do.
confused.
Maybe it's just where time was like
Invented.
that's just where like we've got time. We've got time covered here. Like someone needs to be in charge of it. We've got.
I would have thought that if you were in charge of time, you'd be going, everyone behind us.
Oh, absolutely.
This is where it starts.
Yeah,
Potentially.
Potentially.
Because that's the
But maybe they put it in the middle of fucking nowhere because you don't want to be like if it's in England, right? Then
There's a lot going on there.
it's a busy area. Like maybe you're in Monday and then France is in Tuesday, or
Yeah.
vice versa. It's a bit busy. Maybe they've gone middle of the Pacific because
Yeah, that's what
there's not a whole lot
What do you got
going
there?
on there in terms of population.
It says Tonga is first.
There you go.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at this list. It says Christmas Island, and then you go like New Zealand, and then you go like Fiji.
So what, Tonga's first, did you say?
Well, the first Google search was Tonga.
Tongan mean time.
I'd rather go with Tongan meantime
Same.
Yeah. We should call it Tongan Meantime.
It makes way more sense.
because they're first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Greenwich.
ahead of all of us.
Rather than
why they're so
Greenwich,
big.
These fucking tough
got more time to
assholes.
grow.
Well, that's actually true, right? They've got more time They're older than us, essentially.
They're older.
Why do we give a fuck what time it is in
Greenwich.
somewhere in England?
Yeah, that's true. Fucking.
It doesn't offer me anything. I go, well, what time is it in London? I don't give a shit about Greenwich.
What I want to know is what
time
time
in
is it in
meantime, baby.
Yeah, time in the meantime.
So the UK is last. UK, Ireland, Iceland, Portugal.
So maybe
last.
Greenwich is last. They sort of.
They went a step back. They took a step back and
They'll
said,
go, we'll.
Maybe they're actually being quite humble, Greenwich, like saying,
Okay.
we'll bring it home.
I got to
So
say,
they're bringing it home.
they're going to bring it home. I got to say, their marketing, Times marketing isn't good.
Times marketing is horrible.
They're
Awful.
dog shit marketer
Yeah.
because like very confusing. ET, GMT, AEDT.
Yeah.
Very confusing stuff.
They need to have it like much more.
Sorry, no, that was wrong. It was last. It wasn't last. It was actually right in the middle.
Oh my god! Because it's
This
mean.
side.
Because it's
Yeah,
mean.
right.
We should have known that.
Middle.
Mean.
Greenwich Mean
Mean
Time.
is the fucking middle.
Tell
This
you what,
article
we're
is
not going
very
off Maddie's,
confusing.
I tell you what. I tell you, you just had a fuck. You've got the goat
There we
week.
go, right in the middle.
The goat week.
What's the mean?
What's the opposite of a
But
goat?
isn't the mean the average, whereas median is in the middle?
Look, I don't know. What I do know is that
That's correct, yes.
is asking you a question and you are not even looking at him. You just haven't even.
Sorry.
looked at him.
Well, it's all right. The joke's gone now. It was going to be a good joke,
Dude,
but-
he was right in the middle of it,
That's right
and
in
you
the middle.
just what you did was you looked at
Look,
me.
I understand-
and I saw
look.
over your shoulder to him, just going.
Yeah. Look, I've had big weeks too, and I understand the kind of the gravitas that can give you by
Yeah.
having big weeks. So I
And
understand.
time excites me. I
Yeah.
apologise.
Yeah.
No need.
Sometimes
no
I
need.
get excited by time.
Look, I've been able to stay humble though, Kempy.
Okay.
Till he flogs some bloke for fucking looking at him.
Yeah, like
Hey, I don't.
you
flog
literally
anyone.
nearly tried to fight him just then.
Fuck! I was helping you.
He clearly couldn't hear me,
Thanks,
and you
guys, it's been
basically
great.
fucking negged your
I'm
own
out.
bloke and mate into oblivion.
Fuck both of you.
Mate, if there's a fight to be had, he'll have it.
Oh,
Don't worry about that. Mate, no
Fucking
mate,
hell.
mum, dad, sister, brother, old person, young person, kid,
Ibis.
ibis, doesn't matter.
Can't win.
So make sure to watch Kambosos versus Lopez this weekend. It is a mammoth fight. If Kambosos it's one of the great victories. If Kambosos can do this. Now, on to, it seems like I'm going on to rugby league right now, but really I'm talking about cricket. Cricket has taken not even a page, maybe a chapter out of rugby league.
Yeah.
They've gone to scandal for a big event. Rugby league loves that in an off season. The ball's about to be kicked off round one. All of a sudden, there's a controversy. Cricket Australia have done that. So Tim Paine has stepped down as captain after a sexting scandal dating back 4 years. It came to light just after he was made captain in 2018. But they did a full investigation, an independent investigation. So what does that mean? That means they hired a company external from Cricket Australia to investigate it to see if he had done the wrong thing. And the investigation came to say that it was consensual between two adults and private, although obviously not a good look. So they let him stay at captain and kept it all in-house. Now it has been leaked to the media and he stepped down. He's still allowed to play, just not as captain. Warren has come out and said, actually we'll get to what Warren said after. So just to be really clear though, guys, to my understanding and to everyone else's understanding, it wasn't the woman that leaked this. This was just a leak from someone that was in the know or whatever. Cricket Tasmania has come out and said that, Cricket Australia has thrown him under the bus. It was between consensual adults. But I mean, is the Ashes going to be more watched than ever now, do you think, boys?
Yes, 100%. People love scandal. They love it. It gets eyeballs.
Yes, it does.
100%. I mean, rugby league knows that best.
Yes.
That's why the off-season chock-a-block full of scandal, because
Yeah.
it keeps eyeballs on the product. I don't think that Australian cricket knowingly leaked this. That'd be sheer madness. But as a byproduct of the leaking, all eyes on this Ashes series, it'll be an absolute doozy.
Yeah.
When Tim comes out to bat for the first time, it's going to be fucking wild stuff. God, it's going to be wild. But this whole situation is a complete and utter shit show. That we do know.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's bizarre because, as I said, the woman didn't leak it. And if it's come back that it was consensual, then Cricket Australia has completely thrown him on the bus. But if it wasn't consensual, then absolutely.
If it wasn't consensual, then there's the door, bruh.
Yeah, see ya,
but
bruh.
if it's been investigated and you don't have a case to answer 4 years ago, it's come out now. If you believe the photos, quite an impressive dick. I feel sorry for him. His family's already been through it. They've made their peace. They've forgiven. They've moved on. To err is human, to forgive divine. If I can quote,
beautiful.
I think that's a
Shakespeare.
That's mine.
It's beautiful, especially coming from a warrior like yourself.
Well, because I'm a soft at heart, you know what I mean. And I mean, fuck, man, like the whole like throw stones if you live in glass houses. Like there are plenty of people who have fucking sexted or done something wrong or cheated on their missus or done this shit. Like he's been cleared of anything illegal. Let him fucking still captain the country. It's probably the last series he's going to have as captain. He was so close to like just getting that final series out of the way. And then if this comes out after his career's over, no one gives a fuck. It's just, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his family.
And family,
for having it all
absolutely.
come out. But I just think it just is like so fucking unnecessary.
Again, it's the clincher for me. If it was consensual and considered consensual by the investigation, then it's a stupid thing for him to do. And the biggest victims in all this aren't the public. They aren't his teammates. It's his family. Like, that's the biggest victims in all this, in my opinion. So for it to be leaked like this, his family being put in this position, it's so unfair. So unfair.
Yeah. Big dick, though. We can confirm. Well, we can't confirm, but that's what we're hearing.
That's what you're hearing. I haven't seen that. I wouldn't stoop so low, guys.
Well, you can't help what you fucking see.
That's what we're hearing.
That's what we're hearing.
I want to know who leaked it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. What
that
are
is-
they about?
Yeah.
What's going on in their life?
Not much.
They're
Fuck
a
all.
ruthless human being.
Ruthless human.
To leak something that would devastate the family again, make them go through it all again.
For what as well? Like I mean, if you're like a media person and you've leaked it, like as like a business move, like, well, this will get us clicks on our website, and this is why I'm leaking it from like a career progression standpoint. Like I hope you just go to sleep with just overwhelming anxiety every night for the person that you are.
This is the sort of person that buys a house next to a pub and calls the cops at like 2 p.m. going, it's too loud.
It's too loud. Yeah.
Whilst, when they were younger, loudest of the lot.
Yeah, loudest, ripping and tearing.
Ripped and teared all their youth. They get married, they turn 40, intentionally move next to the pub, make complaints every night.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person that leaks this shit.
Or if you're just selling it because you want to make some cash, that money won't
last.
fill the hole inside of your heart.
And when it's all gone, you'll be like, shit, I did something disgusting for a bit of
this
cash.
money.
So Warner's come out and said, he is human. We should stop judging him.
I love that from Shane.
I do love that from Shane.
Look, I would say this maybe if you're Tim, you'd be going, just anyone but Warnie make a comment on this because like obviously Shane's history and his sort of reputation precedes him as one of the great shaggers the nation's ever produced. Probably invented the sext. I think that's fair to say.
Well, I was going to say he's the greatest sexter of all time.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
official.
Got to be.
Have
Well,
you
he's in the Guinness World
seen the Barmy Army has already released their chant for Tim Paine at the Gabba?
What is
Oh,
it?
wow.
Tim Paine was your captain. He had a mobile phone. Advice came in from Warnie. Send a picture of your bone.
Advice came in from Warnie. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. Tim Paine, he's in and around the cricket setup. Obviously, Warnie's a big presence. Everyone knows about him. Everyone talks about him. Everyone wants to be him to a degree. Is he just following his hero's footsteps?
Works
be.
for Shane.
I mean, because you look at it, you go, well, look at what Shane's got.
Shane's corpy's out the arse now.
Out the arse. Shane Warne is as big now as he ever was.
Yeah. 1 million followers on Instagram.
Like, dated Liz
Commentates
Hurley,
Liz Hurley.
shitloads of money, poker, commentary, gins. Mate, you name it, he's done it. And, there's articles released time and time and time again. Him with the sex workers and him with the windows open in Paddington, keeping the whole neighbourhood awake.
Yeah.
Like, he's not
A
rap
rap
sheet.
sheet?
It's not a rap sheet. It's
a rap sheet. It's just not like
His CV.
Yeah, his CV, his
is-
resume.
His resume is as long a resume as you're ever going to see. It's take you 10 years to read it.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't
Tim
even print the resume too long.
You couldn't print it.
No, you'd keep it digital just
Gotta
for
be digital.
saving the trees.
Gotta be
I think.
digital.
Well,
From
mate,
an environmental
you'd need
standpoint.
a forest cut down.
We did see a photo this week of Tim Paine early on in his career, which we thought was very telling, and basically it was like, oh, we should have seen this coming.
Because that's Warnie inspired. that
Well,
photo.
it was if you've got peroxide blonde hair as a young Australian cricketer coming up, like if that hair is dyed blonde, there is a very, 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 very high chance that you're going to get up to some skullduggery in your career. Fucking pair that with Tim Paine being arguably, after Pat Cummins, the best looking cricketer we've produced in the last 20 years.
Certainly in that pick. Pair that with that cheeky grin.
Cheeky
grins will get you every time.
Boyish hair, blonde peroxide, in a sleeveless training shirt.
That one.
I mean,
It's a big play.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's a big play.
Holy shit.
That screams scallywag.
Yeah, dude. That screams,
Well, you know.
fuck.
Yeah. That exactly. You look at that and you go, that bloke roots.
Yeah.
Mad
That we
rooter.
do know.
But yeah, it is interesting that the blonde tips, it almost foreshadowed the Warney-esque vibes, the blonde tips.
Big time.
It does foreshadow.
We
The
should have
tips
known.
foreshadow. We
should
should
have
have known. We do know. Hindsight's a powerful thing. But you got to recognise it at the time. Like, if a young cricketer's coming through with that grin, with that hair, he's also Tasmanian. I think you got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, you do. Tasmania. I actually forgot about the fact that he is Tasmanian. That adds a whole other element.
It does.
to the situation.
It just adds another layer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Tasmanian, is he? He's up here on the mainland.
Big smoke.
You know what those Tasmanians do when they get to the mainland?
Oh,
And he's the
do
hottest
I
guy
what?
in Tassie as well,
You
right?
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas he's plied his trade down there. He's got pretty good fucking feedback.
Well, he's
like-
cleaned out the fucking...
And his whole life, he's looking up. He's like, the mainland. I want to go dominate the
Yeah.
mainland.
Yep.
What can
Everyone
you do?
knows what Tassies get up to when they get up here, and it's not good. Depending on what angle you're looking at.
Yeah. It's not... not-
You could also argue it's great.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's just not, you know...
It's scallywag behaviour.
scallywag shit.
There's no, Tasmanians don't come over here to not be a scallywag.
No.
Because it's almost you just get rejected straight away. Oh, he's from Tasmania, beat it. But if you come over, oh, there's that fucking scallywag Tasmanian.
Yeah. There's that scallywag Tasmanian
There's
ripping
that
and
Tassie
tearing.
fucking dude.
You sort of got to be as hot as Tim Paine, though, to be a successful Tasmanian on the mainland.
Yeah. Doesn't help. Doesn't hurt if you're hung like a redwood either.
Well, exactly. No, if you got a redwood betwixt the thighs, as well as that hair, well as those eyes, that
He's almost
cheeky grin.
invaded the country
Yeah, he
with that
has.
thing.
Well, he's invaded the mainland because Tasmania part of the country.
Well, true, but
Yeah, true.
But that
Apologies.
hog
Because
is
he's Australian through and through.
Yeah, absolutely.
the
Yeah,
hog not
apologies.
native to the mainland though.
No, it's yeah.
That
Do you
thing's
think he
like
floated?
the Tassie devil.
Do you think
Like
he
the
floated?
Tassie devil, like the Tassie tiger, no longer with us.
Vale.
The Tassie redwood, rare
Tassie
though.
redwood. Oh yeah, that's as rare. Well, one of one.
Do you think he used that to float across from Tassie to the mainland?
He might have.
That might have actually.
It could handle the straight, the bass straight.
on its ear.
Easy.
Looks at
Easy.
the bass straight and goes,
Yeah.
boring.
He tough.
Also, though, if you fill that thing with blood, that helps it float. So he's got to be hard to get across. You can't be doing it on the flop.
Well-
It'll sink to the bottom of the ocean. It's too big.
It'd be harder going.
Yeah.
I still think he probably
You could
do
bet
it.
you could lift up a sail.
He's got options.
All seriousness, yeah,
Oh, we went
I
serious
think.
then?
I think, yeah, it sucks for his family that this has happened again. That they have to go through this, and hopefully the Ashes, he plays fantastic, and that apology graph that you guys come up with last week, or you come up previously, he can
Yeah,
Good-
the
good
bell
cricket.
curve, the forgiveness bell curve.
forgiveness bell curve.
I would, just because you never know with super competitive dudes and sport and shit like this, he's never scored 100 for his country. Probably I'd say definitely his last series. If he has, it could be, he may not even fucking see out the series if he doesn't play well, but get on him for a ton this summer. Get on him to get his maiden test century.
Absolutely. Now,
You reckon that's what he needed? Needed a scandal to get over the line?
Sometimes the scandal helps.
mate, it's such a tough scandal because it's like the line is really clear. If it's not consensual, it's fucked. Like it's fucked.
Yeah.
There's nothing that excuses that shit. Whether you're the captain or the fucking just
Just
a
a
bloke,
person,
just a
yeah.
person, it's fucked.
They're obviously saying it is. They're saying it's consensual though.
Otherwise he'd be
because
sacked.
otherwise he'd be sacked. He's playing.
yeah, I know.
So they are saying. So that's what's strange about this. Just to bow it is that Cricket Australia is saying we wouldn't have fucking done that if we were back then we wouldn't have made the same decision. But you can also play because it's obviously sweet. It's
Yeah.
obviously consensual. He just can't be captain.
yeah, it's weird.
It's interesting.
But
It's an interesting take.
It's that line between like totally fucked, but also if it is consensual, as it seems it is.
If it's not consensual and he's playing, that
Yeah.
is fucking ridiculous.
That is outrageous.
Exactly.
And
Which
but
it's
that's
not.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though. It's this weird situation where it clearly is consensual. Well, not clearly. We can assume it is consensual because he is playing. Because if he was playing and it wasn't, that's fucked.
That's what I'm saying. I think you can say it's clearly consensual.
And so if it is consensual, it's like fuck, 4 years ago, like fuck, who, like it's a private matter that his family should have to deal with privately. You know?
Media don't give a fuck about that shit. We were saying on our podcast as well, though, that like I don't know. I'm not mad about him not being captain now. Just take the pressure off. Just focus on your role.
Yep.
You don't have to do all the media. You don't have to fucking think about, how the game's progressing and tactics and all that shit. You just keep and fucking score runs.
Catch ball, score
just
runs.
make it simple.
But yeah, just to be very clear, if it wasn't consensual, doesn't matter whether you're Aussie captain or just a normal bloke, that's fucked and you're a loser. If you send non-consensual dick pics, you're a loser.
Yeah, there's a door, bro.
There's a door. See you later. Fucking pull your head in. Now, bigger news. Sorry, this is breaking. Just read it, boys, and you are gonna love this might be the story of the century, the fight of the century. So,
I think I've seen this.
an unexpected fight has been added to the Gallen-Aloiai fight card, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, you must be talking about Gallen-Aloiai. That is the fight of the century.
I thought you were going to say Tom versus Ibis.
On the undercard, with Arabella Del Basso, the controversial ex-partner of Josh Reynolds, set to face model-turned-boxer Kate McLean. Del Basso became known in the rugby league circle after a highly publicised breakup with Reynolds, in which her disturbing lies were exposed, including faking pregnancies.
Yeah.
UK-born McLaren spent years working as a model, but now has her eyes set on winning a world title. McLaren is linked up with boxing legend Jeff Fenech,
Love this.
who confirmed to foxsports.com that the fight is basically locked in pending a few finer details. He also said it was Del Basso who put the wheels in motion for the fight.
Greatest game of all.
Although Fenech has trained female boxers before, this particular bout will be the first for him. I've been working with Kate for 6 to 8 months. I've done a little bit of work with other female boxers, but this is going to be my first time in the corner and everything else. Look,
this is one of the great stories in Australian sport.
it's one of the, and I love how somehow rugby league is connected to it.
In both sides. Jeff Fenech has played rugby league.
I got to tell you,
Del Basso, obviously strong ties to rugby league, being a almost the walking example of a piece of shit by what she did to Josh Reynolds. That being said, though, we have short memories in this country, and if we're going to see two birds punch the fuck out of each other, we're in.
mate, I hats off to Del Basso for staying relevant for this long.
How the fuck has she actually not
People
been,
like that are usually
completely
like,
cancelled.
Yeah.
see you, bruh.
Look, if we ever used the cancel card, I think we could have used it on her.
She was on SAS. The fucking
Was she
I'm
really?
yeah, she was on
Was
SAS.
she?
Yeah, bro.
No
Are you
way!
serious?
She
Do you-
faked a
do you all that?
pregnancy.
Do you all that? Yeah, she was on SAS.
Like,
dude.
destroyed a man's fucking, devastated a man.
Completely fucked with this dude.
Holy
Took his
moly.
money, lied to him about all this shit.
Is this the fight of the century? Is it on Rumble of the Jungle kind of territory?
Yeah.
I dare say it is.
Listen, Denon, if Eddie and I weren't already excited about what we assume is an impending invitation to sit ringside at this fight
In furs.
in furs,
Faux.
faux fur or Shetland pony, we are certainly excited now because this is one that you can't miss. I do feel a little bit for George Kambosos, who probably hasn't had any write-up in the telly, and he's already had his fight completely just swooped on by these two broads.
Yeah, it is.
At least he goes first.
Yeah.
That's true. He gets it out of the way this weekend, and maybe he gets down for the fight.
You
You
know
reckon
what I mean?
he could come down and sit ringside?
Yeah, with us in furs.
Has she got any boxing experience whatsoever, or is she literally?
No, she does.
She does.
She trains. So we followed her on Hello Sport, and then after the Josh Reynolds thing was sort of coming out,
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to
she
the
blocked
great
us.
Grub. The great
The
Grub.
Grub's a fucking legend. She blocked us though on Hello Sport. I can see her Instagram from the old personal account.
Oh, okay.
And she's boxing all the time.
Yeah, so she has come out and said she's yet to have a professional bout, but she said this fight is something I can achieve in life. It is a very lonely sport, but I'm getting stronger and I'm understanding the sport. This would be a great achievement. I mean, look, it's one of the great cards. We've got Heinington versus Joey Leilua. We've got Del Basso versus, is it McLean?
bro, this fight.
McLaren. It's one of the great cards.
No,
Mate,
dude,
if
this
you had
is-
told me, 3 years ago, when she was fucking ripping off Reynolds, that in 3 years' time, going to fight Josh Aloiai and Paine would be fighting
Joey,
and then Del Busso would be fighting someone else on a rugby league night of nights fight card.
Oh, it's a night of nights.
is this like Australia's...
And we'd be sitting ringside in faux fur. I would have gone, bullshit. But
Is this like Australia's
weird.
sort of version of the like TikTok-y sort of YouTube US celebrity Logan Paul, Jake Paul shit?
It's far above that. It's
But
far
this is
above
like
that.
Australia's going like, oh, you think you can
The
do
difference
something.
is ours is tasteful.
Yes, ours is classy, tasteful.
This is classy, tasteful kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The YouTube stuff, it's great. Let them make their money. But this is real boxing.
But,
Yes.
but also, Tom,
Aussie boxing.
Aussie boxing.
I don't need to remind you that this isn't rugby league's first rodeo.
No.
You know, Jake Paul and shit, like they've only been doing it for half a second.
Yeah.
It's been happening for a long time down
Footy
here.
That's a
players
great
have been
point.
fighting plumbers for a very long time.
That's true.
So look, it is going to stop the nation, that's for sure.
It will stop the nation.
Now, we've had some more keys to the city being handed out. So Nathan Cleary has been handed the keys to the city from Mayor Karen McCowan, the Mayor of Penrith, obviously. But we never really got to the bottom. What does the keys to the city actually unlock?
Mate, that's a key to every single house in the
Is it places to bend with the like? What do you get away? Like, can you just go to a random house and start sinking piss with your mates, or is it a private place for you and a loved one to
No,
snuggle?
I think, and this is just to my understanding, Denon, Edward, you can back me up on this, that key will unlock every single door in Penrith.
In the city of Penrith.
In the city of Penrith.
because remember when Fafita had
It
a
happened to
similar
David
issue.
Fafita.
Well, that was what was so confusing because David Fafita had been given the keys to the city. He's gone into a house that he assumed he was, had every right to go into, given that he had the key to the city. Wasn't received that well.
I think it's just more about education.
Yeah.
You have a key to the city, but it's how to, it's with great power comes great responsibility. You got to know how to use that key.
We need a crash course.
It needs a crash course
in key.
In key etiquette. You
That's
can't
right.
just walk into some house of a bird that you are consensually trying to chong.
While hubbies.
While mum and dad are there. Dave Fafita, a young guy, chick still living with the parents.
Sure.
Nathan Cleary of noted NRL hot boy fame, of probably gets into his work fame.
Ooh.
He's got to be careful here because, now
Danger.
it's danger. It's danger.
Honestly, it's almost a curse, that key. It's like burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah.
You want to go and do a TikTok dance with a couple of young honeys, you got a key to get in.
Well, I think all they need to say to Nathan is, listen, the benefit of this key is people don't have to get up to let you in. You let yourself in.
Yes.
Look, it's a small win, but it's,
It's
a subtle convenience.
It's a minor inconvenience that's
a big key too.
fixed.
I
It's a
can't
huge fucking key.
That key's big.
Yeah.
But
Very
also, if him and the boys are yipping and yahooing, maybe they'll let themselves into the council chambers and,
Get to a couple of
get to a couple of...
get through a couple of blokes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? There's also that.
We also just should be happy for them. I mean, they've earned that key to the city.
Is there a house in Penrith that wouldn't allow the Cleary in?
You'd fucking hope not.
None.
Is Cleary is to Penrith, Joey is to Newcastle?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you lock that in?
I'm
Well,
locking
certainly
that in.
is. Yeah,
I
he
would
has
lock
to
that
be.
in.
Well,
He's
yeah,
not.
well, put it this way. He is to Penrith what Joey was after 1997.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's got. He's not. He's not Joe.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that he's won 2 comps yet because he hasn't.
Yeah.
He's won 1. So his Joey 1997 was to
the reason why I
Newcastle.
think there's similarities, obviously they play the same position, but I think there's more similarities in the sense that the Penrith side, before they started killing it, were a team of just solid first graders. They weren't a team of, they've become the best players in the comp. But 2 years ago, they had not a single international Australian player. They had like some Samoan players in that, but they were a solid side. But similar to Newcastle, you could even argue Newey had a few better players. Like they had, obviously, Danny Beers came a bit later, didn't he?
The 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know the similarities
Yes.
of like Joey took that team that was solid.
Robbie O'Davis, Matty Johns.
Yeah. You could even argue Newey was
Betsy was in the squad in '97, but he didn't
in
play
'97,
Greenleaf.
but he didn't play.
Chief was a fucking weapon.
pretty much the best one of the best in the comp.
Yeah.
Whereas like a guy like in Penrith Panthers, before they went on their run, what player did they have that was the best in the comp in their position? Not
It's
a
a fair
single
point.
one. Not even Cleary at
No.
this stage. Now, because like Cronk was still here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas now they've got like you could argue Isaiah Yeo, you could argue Fisher Harris,
To'o.
you could argue To'o. You know what I mean? So like that's where I find the similarities of he really did take this team from solid, top 80 side to beating heavyweights. Like the year that they beat Parramatta, Parramatta had a record year or whatever. And so, you look at this year, they bounced out the Storm, who also had a record year this year.
Fuck, it'd be nice to be Nathan Cleary right now, eh?
Oh.
Like, just life's good.
You know what I love? Like, he is on top of the world, but he's still going on podcasts, whether they're big podcasts, small podcasts. And what I love about it is he did that last year after he lost the GF as well. You know what I mean? He kept, I hate the saying, but he kept the same energy. Like, he lost the GF, he come on like my podcast and a few others this year, wins it, go on a few podcasts. He's a man of the people.
Man of the people.
Man of the
people. He would have had the best off-season ever.
Oh,
not a care in the world.
only the holding back is the
shoulder.
The shoulder. But that's
true.
He would have ripped and teared a bit before that happened, though, right?
Oh, yeah. That mo says it all. When you're rocking up with a mo like that.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So, yeah, look, the key to the city, we don't know what it is for yet. We haven't really gotten to the a definitive answer. So let us know in the comment section. What does a key to the city actually represent? And where did it even start? Who was the first person that was like, hey, bro, here's a key to the whole city?
Here's a key to the whole fucking city.
Because surely it started in a practical sense.
Surely.
You're going to need to get...
It looks ceremonial now.
Yeah,
but
it was
I
a big
think
key.
its historic ties would have been to, this is a master key.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because that's a big key now. There's no way that's fitting many doors.
Can someone give us a key to a fucking city? Like, I feel like we, as the Dirty Merger podcast, have done enough to at least earn a fucking look in at a key to a city.
Surely.
Hard because we're not aligned with anyone's city.
That's true.
That's the problem.
If there was a key to the country, I think we could get it.
Key to the city.
Key to the country.
Key to the country.
If there's a key to the country, I think we should fucking get it.
Well, I don't know.
How do we get a
would be in
huge
front of us.
key? I'm happy to even get.
Who'd be in front of us?
No
I don't
one.
know.
No one.
Being country lads ourselves, like through and through.
Well,
key to the country.
Yeah.
So let us know if you do possess the key to the country.
Can you send us in a huge key to the nation, please?
Big one.
Yeah, now,
That'd be a fucking huge key.
another big story. Employee that took Kikau photo is a senior employee at the Lees Club, apparently on 200K. I don't know how that information got out, but apparently is. Got the sack for taking the photo.
What a dick.
I mean, my personal opinion is, wow, that's harsh. Wow, that's harsh. In the current climate, the person who took the photo got the sack, not the people that actually put the jersey on, blah, blah, blah. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with him putting the jersey on for a fucking promotional photo. I mean, because the Bulldogs then go, okay, well, maybe we don't fucking drop this photo now. But the guy going, like, he's taken the photo, then sent it to his mates, I'm assuming, then they've just fucking sent it on, and then boom, it just goes wild. Like, that's a dumb fucking move.
To get the sack.
Yeah, that is hectic. But if he's an employee at the club, like, you are...
But it's two different things too. It's like a Lees Club, and like they don't even fucking...
I don't think you should be sacked for that.
Well, sorry. Apologies. He resigned, but the article said it looked like he was about to get the sack.
Why do people give a shit so much about this?
I don't either.
It's pretty clear to me what's happened. Kikau signed with the Bulldogs, sweet, that's fine. He's taken a promotional photo so they don't have to fucking ship him in from Penrith again.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And they put it up later.
It's like he's still got a whole year. So I'm of the mind, like, a little bit silly. His player manager should have been like, oi, we don't need to take that now. We can take that fucking, down the track. And so it's like the sponsors of Penrith would be like, well, hang on a sec, we've still got a whole season. You're already in the colours of the opposition. Some would argue, conspiracists would argue, it could have been done in a pressure move of like, we leaked this and then maybe a bit of pressure to get him early. There's no evidence to confirm that.
If you look at that photo and the smiles on all of their faces, it looks like one of the great 69ings of all time has just gone down.
Oh, yeah.
That's post 69.
Everyone's been fulfilled.
Yeah.
But, yeah, obviously it's not great seeing Kikau.
But it's not a big deal, I agree.
In
It's not a
rival
big deal.
colours, but you can clearly see that it's been taken on a fucking CCTV monitor.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant for public consumption. So I'd surely you just go, yeah, okay. If they're flaunting him up on their fucking Instagram, then it's like, whoa.
And we knew,
chill out.
like, it wasn't like it's completely out of the blue in the sense that Kikau was always, there was yarn that they weren't going to be able to keep him. Like, that they weren't going to be able to afford to.
No, I'm totally with you.
So it's like, fuck it. Yeah, okay, he's going.
It isn't common though, this far out, for a club to go, oh, just chuck this on, we'll fucking take a photo.
But how do you know that? Maybe it is and they just don't get out.
Well, I know that because I used to play.
Well, no, of course. But, like, I'm saying, if you see a photo that comes out of a of a player signing or something, that it could have very well been they've just taken it at the time.
It's usually very, very private. Like this, it's 12 months.
But wouldn't you say that it still would have been private if some dead shit hadn't leaked it?
But they've got 12 months to take that photo. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Hasn't even been announced that he's signed yet.
Yeah.
And they haven't even, like, doggies haven't even officially announced that he's signed yet. Like, for example, you could argue, or you could make the argument that, like, maybe he hasn't signed yet, and Gus was just like, oh yeah, chuck this thing on, and it adds more pressure to making him sign now. Like, there's a reality that exists that he actually hasn't signed the contract yet. So now he's in this weird position of like he's just kind of verbally agreed, but it's not signed, and oh fuck, he has to sign now. Like it adds so much shit it shouldn't have to add. They haven't even announced it yet.
Well, I mean, do you reckon that's kind of because they're like, you know what, let's just hold off on that after this shit show? Like,
I just think that.
Do you think there's a chance that he hasn't even fucking signed?
I think so. Yeah. Like he could have just shook hands. Yep, I agree. Yep, I agree. Here's a jersey. I chuck this on. When you sign, we'll take that. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to sign, so I'll take it anyway. Boom, we take it, and then I'll sign in a couple of weeks or two, because it takes a bit to get the contracts together. You go through all the shit. Your manager goes through it all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that is the case. I'm saying it is possible that he hasn't signed yet, especially with the fact they haven't even announced it yet. But I also am on your side in the sense that who gives a fuck? Like, he's signed, he's going to go there anyway. He gave Penrith Panthers heaps of... It's just the idea that they could have waited. They've got so long to get that photo.
There's just sometimes it's like we pick and choose what we're... And not us, but like...
Outraged at.
What we're outraged at. Oh, yeah, well, a coach can just get fucked off mid-season. A player can change clubs mid-season. There's a June 30 deadline, or at least there was. It might have changed it. But like... You know, the Dolphins are trying to sign motherfuckers 2 years out. We had, what's-his-face last week, Hughes from the Storm saying he's not taking up his option. His manager, like, this is the fucking game. This is the game.
It's also like, you know, you can, as Australian skipper, there's a lot of people that believe that sending photos of your cock to someone else when you're married is play on, but, don't take a photo in a fucking Bulldogs polo before you go
this
there.
is a fucking disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, that's all consensual. I mean, this is just a...
This isn't consensually releasing
like, I'm just
photo.
like, none of it matters.
Yeah. No,
Who gives a shit?
I'm of the mind, by seasoned veterans Gus Gould and Trent Barrett, and the player manager, and also Kikau to an extent, it's a silly thing. It creates, by putting him on the jersey, it creates an unnecessary drama that doesn't have to. Also, let's say I'm paying $1 million to Penrith as a sponsor, and the sponsor is a big bloke on the front. If I see him in a jersey and he's one of our star players with like big 4X on across the front, I know he didn't have that. It was just a polo. That would kind of piss me off a little bit. But I'm also with you. I said on the other podcast, it's not a big deal. Like,
the thing why it's not a big deal is because it was supposed to be secret.
Yeah.
That's it. If they'd released it early, you'd be
If Kikau's on his Instagram going, yeah, baby, what's up? I'd be like, Jesus, bro, that's a bit much.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right. It's not a big deal at all, in my opinion, as well. I just think a little bit silly, not a big deal, though.
But this bloke who's been sacked, like
That's
when they
outrageous.
say senior employee, how high up is he?
Just to be clear, he resigned, but the article made out that he'd been called in like for a meeting, and it was, he was about to be sacked or whatever.
Yes.
I'll get the exact wording of the article so that...
What's it? I mean, this might be far too deep from an employee standpoint, but like, is it better to be sacked or to resign from like a I'm unemployed standpoint?
I think resign, because they might go, well, look, if you resign, we'll give you your benefits and that. If you quit, if you resign, we'll give you a good package to see you out. Whereas if we have to sack you, then we're going to go harder, kind of thing.
Because they could be like, you're sacked for breaching something in your contract, you would get nothing.
Yeah.
Resigning there, but like, we'll just go quietly.
Yeah, right.
Because he's not being made redundant.
So the employee was issued, and also if the club... If it comes out headline, sacks thingo, makes them look bad. And also they may not have grounds to sack. Anyway, the employee was issued with the show cause on Monday. He attended a disciplinary meeting that afternoon with Canterbury League club management and members from the Human Resource Department. He resigned effective immediately. And then it's... Anyway, it says further down that, he resigned because he had the feeling that he was about to be sacked. But yeah, I think it's pretty to put him in it was just a photo they sent to his mates. Like, he's in the Leeds club there, and the club, they're two different entities. Very tough.
You can say that you've signed with a club, but you just can't be in a polo.
Yeah.
On CCTV camera.
Yeah.
After a 69.
After 69, where everyone's stoked about how it went. Everyone's completed. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, satisfied.
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
Very odd.
Just out from Chrissy too. Fuck.
Mate, fucking sacking a bloke for that.
Well,
1 week out from Chrissy.
yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, it was a dumb move though. Again, yeah, you probably don't deserve to lose.
Send it to your mates, you know?
He sent it to his mates.
Yeah,
though.
but of course that was going to get sent on, dude. Like, fucking hell.
Enough to...
You reckon you sack a bloke for that?
No, I'm
Who
saying he's
gives
an
a
idiot.
fuck?
I'm saying he's an idiot.
That's
I'm
what I
saying
don't
he's
understand.
dumb.
I'm like, why is this even... This is such a care for me. I just
Yeah.
don't... I cannot understand why this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then to sack a bloke
Well,
over it,
again, to be clear, he stepped down, like, technically.
yeah, right.
reading between the lines.
Yeah, I know. I just want to be really clear because, who knows? Maybe he has another gig lined up and this was his way out. I don't know.
Sure.
But you're right. It does look like he was told, hey,
He's going to work for the Daily Telegraph.
jump before we push you.
He's good at leaking stuff.
Yeah, he's good at leaking.
I mean, yeah, he would be good at the telly. Now,
I'll just throw in, I'll wind back a bit to the keys to the city. In medieval times, the keys to the city actually did have a practical use. So when a visiting hero or dignitary came to town, the people would make an elaborate ceremony, but for major merchants, it was able to enter the city without having to pay a toll because back then, major cities would be fortified by walls and gates for people's protection.
wow, so he doesn't have to pay any
So
tolls.
just
it was just
he
one
just
key
rocks
to the
up
whole
and
city.
bang.
Bang, I'm in.
So he doesn't have to pay tolls on the road then.
And
And
he
also,
rocks up and
there's
goes
a
in.
pretty funny list here of like people that shouldn't have got keys to the city that did, or like controversy. But one Australian is Cher, the American singer. She got the keys to the city to Adelaide, and then she sold it on eBay for 90 grand.
90 grand.
90 grand.
She claimed it, or like she listed it on eBay for 90 grand. She claimed it wasn't her, someone from her office, but yeah, that happened.
Holy
She put them up for sale for 90 grand, or she
Yeah.
got 90,000 off someone?
That's
it just
a huge
says
play from
it
Cher.
just says selling it on eBay for 90 grand.
Who the fuck would buy the key to the Adelaide
Well,
City
that's
for
the biggest.
90,000?
That's the most shocking part about it. No one wants a key to Adelaide, right?
Well, he may save 90 grand in tolls. Could have been a truckie.
that's not a bad shout.
So what? So you're saying that you can get off tolls? So
Well, that's what I said,
you
you have to
hang
pay
your
toll.
key on
Yeah.
on the window.
Just flash it. I'm not paying this fucking toll. Just drive straight through.
I'll
There you
stick
go.
out the window.
Yeah.
Oi, here's
I'm
the
Nathan
key, mate.
Cleary. Fuck, you serious?
Also, the city of Detroit gives Santa Claus a key to the city every year.
That's
That's
pretty
right.
lame. I don't think you need more than one.
But
No, if he's got one, he's got it, right?
Yeah,
Why's he
why
on
is it every year? Oh, they changed the locks on the dogs.
and the biggest mistake was they gave Saddam Hussein a key to the city in 1980 when he made a
Wow.
donation to the church.
That is a bad. That's
Who
a bad
gave
call.
that to him?
The city of Detroit, the same people that do Santa Claus.
Okay.
Saddam Hussein.
Their key giving's all skewy if they're fucking.
Someone needs to sit down the city of Detroit and explain to them that A, probably shouldn't give one to dictators, and B, Santa doesn't need one every year. He's
No.
got one now.
Yeah,
That's
he's
fine.
He's good. Plus, he's more of a chimney operator anyway. So who the fuck? Why does he even need a key?
Or after the Saddam Hussein fuck up, are they just going, let's try and
Let's only give it to Santa.
let's only give it to Santa
Yeah,
now
you got to
'cause
be
it's safe.
Absolutely. I mean, wow, the
Maybe.
keys to the city to Saddam Hussein. What's
huge
worse,
call.
Saddam Hussein or Crazy X?
Oh, Crazy X. I don't think you.
Crazy X partner, girl or boy?
Well, because
Key to the house.
Saddam and me personally don't have a
don't think
history
that mattered
like
for him.
You know what I mean? I think it's like with an X, a Crazy X. It's like that's probably where I'm more in danger.
At what point do you give a key to your partner? Like when you first start dating? It's a fucking big
Yeah, it is a
key.
bit-
Walk in at any time.
I don't know that I've ever given one until I just moved in with my missus, and we've been together for yonks.
Wow.
You didn't have one when you lived with the boys?
Nah. That was probably for her own safety, living in that fucking house.
Yeah, Ella had one for convenience.
Convenience.
dangerous.
How early?
I mean, I can't remember. We would, nah, it would have been.
Is it almost a key to your
don't
heart,
know.
metaphorically?
Well, it's certainly a statement key.
It's a fucking statement.
It's a statement key.
If you, it's almost.
It depends what its use is for, though.
Getting
if
in the
it's like a
house.
convenience thing, yeah, but it's like,
that's
this
a-
doesn't mean you can sit here all day.
Well, how are you having that conversation?
Yeah. How are you telling her? Oi, just so you know, there's fucking keys and so you sit all
Basically,
day.
if you're giving him a key, you have to be, but you're basically saying you can sit her all day.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
You reckon?
Well, yeah, dude. That's why you don't
A
fucking...
key is almost an engagement ring.
It's a big fucking step. It's one step below. It's like key, pet, marriage, baby.
It's almost you could get the key melted down to the engagement ring.
That's not a bad shout, actually. That is romantic.
Do you reckon that's been done before? I
Sure.
bet you it has.
I bet it has. It's not what metal's a key made out of. It's probably not the most.
Like what? Don't know.
Steel? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be steel. I think it's cheap.
That's why I'm thinking.
Well,
Cheap
yeah,
as
you can get the big thick ones and all the really shitty ones that snap off and that.
You can get fucking awful keys.
What you think about it when you think about it now with everything so digital? Why the fuck do we have keys anymore? They should just be swipes.
Yeah,
on a
but
mobile.
I'd prefer an analog fucking key in today's world. I don't want to be able to have my fucking front door hacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. They'd be.
You
able to
could argue
create
it'd be
something.
a lot of
Easier to
picking a
fucking-
lock's
yeah.
like the easiest fucking
thing in the
to
world.
do. That's
Yeah, but
so easy.
No, but it's not that easy. You couldn't pick a lock.
What and what you reckon? Just everyone can hack fucking
That's a fair
digital.
point.
Like,
Yeah.
what's this? It's the same thing.
And also, it's not even like wouldn't even be on the network unless you wanted it to be. It'd be it's like hotel rooms have it. Beep beep, drip, or like those. I want to get so wealthy that I can, like when I'm like 10 minutes down the road, everything goes and like turns on in the house.
Power's on.
Yeah.
Can't you do that shit on your phone now anyway?
Yeah, well, I'm poor. I don't
With the
even. I don't have a
Internet
phone.
of Things?
I don't have a phone.
Oh, okay, well, that's tough.
I think you can.
You can like
but
turn
it's
your
not
heater on
common.
and shit.
But
It's
how
not
sick's that be? Just like you're 10 minutes away and like the footy's on when you walk in the
Yeah.
door. A hand comes out, like you walk in and a beer. So as you walk in, a beer goes
Beer
in
comes
your
out
hand.
in your hand. I'm like someone who just is a massive adopter of technology, not being technically savvy, but then I'm also like scared of having it encroach on my life. So I'm like a walking
Do you know?
contradiction.
You know what a lot of that is? Is like it's movies putting that in your head that like technology is like a negative. It's a bad.
But don't you reckon there's a point where it's like you just slowly accept thing after thing, and before you know it, you're like, how did I get from here to here? Like when you hear like Alexas or Siri's in the house, just listen. They just listen to you.
Oh, yeah, it's
they just listen to
fucking
everything.
wild.
That's like the shit where I'm like, well, I don't want one of those. Like,
Well, it's even
give me a
like
fucking Alexa.
little stuff like this. Like we're so used to it now, but that's like I can communicate any person in the world anywhere. It's like a telepathy thing next in my hand. It's like and it's always on me, so it may as well be connected.
Yeah, it also listens.
It's crazy.
Like you have a chat about. People do this all the time where you just like pick something fucking obscure as shit, talk about it, and then you open up your Facebook or whatever and you're getting pushed ads
Getting
for it.
smashed ads
How
with it.
in the fuck is that cool?
it's not cool. Not cool
But
at
it's
all.
fucking common. We
It's-
just accept it.
Yeah, that's my like thing where I'll use a phone, I use fucking whatever, but I'm like, before you know it,
I know, but like
Terminator.
in
I've
the
seen
last
Terminator,
10
I've seen how that
years,
goes.
my use of technology really hasn't changed. Like I use a phone, use the internet, but like I'm not ramping it up to like I don't use Siri. I don't use
Siri.
Like I don't. You know what I'm trying to say?
But if you get one in your house, which people do Google Home or whatever.
Nah, I've seen it. Like it's
no,
not.
it's not for me.
it's
But
not
I'm
for
saying
me.
that's like
not for
a.
me.
It's just it. I tell you what it is. It needs to significantly improve my life
Yeah.
for me to use it. Siri, I'm sorry, she's not up to scratch.
No,
Siri's not up to
She's-
scratch.
She's pure shit.
She is pure shit.
If Siri fucks it, which she always does, I can't walk her back. I'm like, no, fuck that, Siri. Don't put that. Do this.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, what? Did you say my name? I'm like, shut up. You got to turn your phone off, reset it. Hey, Siri. And then she won't listen. You're like, hey, Siri.
You and Siri don't sound like you
Siri.
got a good relationship.
I'm
Yeah,
just
bad.
saying,
It's a toxic
she's not
relationship.
good.
That sounds toxic.
That sounds toxic.
Until I can talk to her like I'm talking to you, I don't see
wanna-
the point.
I have
It
an
needs to be
Android.
seamless.
yeah, no, I'm with you there.
And it's not.
It's definitely not.
No.
It's almost like it takes more time. You may as well just fucking
Yeah,
put it in your phone.
not worth it.
But I'm not sure how we got to there.
Well,
But
how do we ever know, really, you know?
Keys
Keys to the city.
Keys to the city.
Also, one last thing. Detroit also gave Elmo a key to the city.
Detroit's all at sea.
Detroit's all at
That's
sea.
why Santa gets one every year because they don't know what they're doing.
And Detroit gave Big Sean a key to the city and not Eminem.
What?
Well, that'd piss you off.
That is a fucking travesty if
Yeah,
I've ever
that
heard
is.
one.
That's-
Big Sean is like solid, but not even on close to the great Eminem's level.
No.
Wow.
Like, if Eminem's an immortal, Big Sean's fucking 2 years into his career.
You should
Wow.
inbox Eminem and be like, you definitely should have got a key to the city, man. Like, he might respond.
Write a rap about how you didn't get a key.
It's like, if I had that choice, I would have given it to you, bro.
Dude, write a rap for Eminem about why he deserved a key to Detroit.
And then, like, sing it. Sing it.
Yeah. No, well, we get it up on Spotify.
Sweet. I'll do it by Monday.
You've got a week.
The Dolphins are yet to sign anyone in their first month, but Brent Tate says that Wayne Bennett won't be panicking. What are your thoughts on the Dolphins' recruitment so far? Obviously, they're being used a lot as leverage. It's inflated the market, inflated the lengths of deals. How do you think they'll be panicking a little bit? Like if they don't get Cheese and they don't get Ponga and they're not going to get Joey because he's probably going to start the Roosters. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh shit, we got no marquee signings.
Well, I heard the other day, and I think we're talking about this in the podcast, that their first signing's on a training trial with the Broncos, and they might pick him up first.
So,
Which is like they don't really have anyone.
no,
They got no one.
They got no one.
So their first big signing is actually doing a training trial with their fucking biggest
Broncos
rival.
this year, yeah.
But the only reason I wouldn't be worried is because of Wayne Bennett. If they didn't have Wayne Bennett, I'd be like, bruh.
I mean, yeah, there's an element where you're going, they've been used for leverage. They're also being used in the media as something to talk about because there's fuck all to talk about. So, like, there's an element where you're going, like, they were only announced, what? How long ago were they announced? A month, did you say?
Yeah, not long.
Right. So, like, I'm sure they've fucking got some things in the pipe.
Yeah.
And they got some cash to throw around.
The only problem is if you don't get those big dogs before they resign,
Then you're fucked.
fuck. And it's
They
only
need a
3 or
big
4 of them.
They need big dogs. They need at least 2 big
They
dogs.
need a Cheese, they need a Reed, they need a fucking Munster or Ponga. Munster hasn't re-signed, has he? The rumour is that he will,
Munster's-
but
he's still till he's not gonna be a part of the initial. He's signed till 2024. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I'd love the Cheese to go. Fuck the Storm.
It's such a risky fucking move, man. Because you go there and just be battling. Whereas at the Storm,
I
you're
know.
a king.
I know.
Like the Storm, as a Storm fan, you just must be kicking yourself because you're so every year you're guaranteed winning each week pretty much.
Yeah. That little fucking intern D or Dave.
But he's a turncoat though.
No, he is a turncoat.
He doesn't know where he's from, what he's about, who he supports. He's a disgrace.
So, so I know Wayne won't be panicking, but at the same time, it is getting slimmer and slimmer, that marquee signing, and you need at least one. But you know, Ponga could, you know, if Ponga could be waiting on Cheese could be waiting on Ponga. You know what I mean? It goes from it's all good to oh fuck really quickly.
When is Ponga having those conversations? Is he having them now? Is he going to have them at the end of next season?
I think it's mid this year. He has to inform whether he's going to take up his option for next year.
Mid this year.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot riding as well on the Knight's form. Maybe he's going to do that as well to see how it all goes.
That's why it was surprising they let Pierce go. Because it's like, fuck, you almost say like, Pierce, please. Otherwise, if you're Ponga, you're sitting there going, fuck, if we start the year poorly, why would I stay at this club that, you know, just sneaks into the 8 where I can go somewhere else and be the absolute star? But the argument against that would be like, well, Redcliffe could struggle the first few years as well. So you're just going from one okay club to a struggling club.
That's the other thing. Because, well, Titans, did they struggle in their first year? I mean, the Storm didn't, obviously, but
I think Titans were pretty good, but Titans also recruited mad when you look back now. They got Preston Campbell, Scotty Prince,
Matt Rogers.
That's true.
Chris
they
Walker.
They got a big forward.
Mark Minicello, Luke Bailey.
Luke Bailey. They had a fucking pretty good side.
that's the thing. No one wants to go first. Because then if you go first and you don't get support, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Titans came 12th and 13th, but then they made the semis, then the prelim.
So pretty good.
You go
Prelim.
first and no one
Titans
comes
made
with
the
it, you're at a party
prelim.
by
Yeah, that
yourself.
was the Roosters in 2010.
No one wants to be put it this way. No one wants to be first to the party.
No.
No one ever wants to be first to the party.
No.
That's where I see Cheese.
Which is
like,
what this is.
Cheese is so out there that he could be the guy to be first to the party.
Because I know, like, if you get Cheese and he's first to the party, you go, I'll go to that party. If you're first,
Any
if you're
party
first,
with Cheese at it, you're going to go
If
to.
your first person to the party is someone lame, you're like, listen, it's not that I don't like you, but I'm just going to wait and see who else comes.
The dominoes will fall if he goes there. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your gut tell you, Denon?
I think he's going to either stay at Storm or go to Roosters.
If he goes to the Roosters,
How can the Roosters afford him?
well, they lost like $50 million worth of talent.
To be fair, they lost Cordner, Friend,
Morris,
both the Morris brothers.
Who would have been on
fuck all.
fuck all?
Well, I think one of the Morris brothers would have been on OK Coin, at least. Oh, actually, both would have been pretty on fuck all. Boyd would have been on at least 800. Friend would have been on at least 700-800.
Crichton, Victor, Teddy, Joey.
Yeah, but they've
Cleary.
lost those
Kiri.
4, so it's like, you know.
I understand that, but I'm just like, I look at other sides, Tom.
The Roosters...
They don't have that many no
No. The
sides have that many thoroughbreds.
Fantastic at managing the cap.
No sides do.
Well, when you look at the Roosters roster, though, they've got Crichton, so Teddy on 1.1, or 1. We don't know. Let's just say 1 million. You got Kiri on about 700-800. Outside of those two players, everyone else would be on like 500 to 600, like as in
Hargreaves?
the other big dogs. I'd say Hargreaves 500 to 600.
Joey Manu?
He would have been upgraded to about 700, I'd say. So, maybe there is room for a cheese on about 600.
There's always room in the Roosters.
Always room.
And listen, I hate the Roosters as like an entity, but I like their players. And the cheese in the eastern suburbs would be pretty fucking good for him. It'd be good for the club.
Imagine him winning Prems at Roosters, how big he'd get.
Yeah. It'd be good for brand cheese.
Like, brand cheese is working. He's working down in Melbourne.
Is he doing anything in the cheese game right now? Like, is he going to release cheeses?
He should.
He should be releasing a cheese. I'd eat it.
I'd eat it, absolutely.
Would it be a spreadable?
Well, I think he's got options. You either do just the one, or you go, here's a range of cheeses.
But you need a staple cheese.
Yeah, I'd say it's a hard cheese based on him just as a fucking block of cheese. That's where it came from, the block of cheese.
As like a hard cheese that you grate onto a pasta or you put on a sandwich. What are you suggesting?
I'd say less the pasta. I'd say you want it to be like slices of cheese on it that it could go with a charcuterie board, but it's pretty stock standard. It melts well. You want something that's melting on a cheese toasty.
I think you almost want an everyday cheese.
I think you want everyday cheese.
I think you do.
It's
a versatile cheese.
Like a cheddar.
Yeah, but not you don't want like a Parmesan.
No, fuck no. But you can put cheddar cheese on pasta.
You can, exactly. You can.
Obviously, Parmesan a bit stronger flavour.
Parmesan is the cheese for a pasta.
Well, it punches through, Tom.
Yes.
But you could put a cheddar.
And many have.
And many will.
But
you could also put a cheddar on a sandwich.
Fucking a hectic cheese toasty.
Yep. And if you tried to fucking smuggle a bit of cheddar onto my cheese board, I'd go, okay.
If it's a hectic cheese.
That's what I think he does. He
Yeah.
goes a versatile cheese and then branches off.
Yeah. That's what you do. You have a foundational cheese and then camemberts, bries, blues.
Blues.
More blues.
Plenty more blue.
Yeah, heaps of blue.
Love blue.
Are you partnering with a wine? Are you going that far?
You could go with Ponting wines. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ponting
you
wines,
could.
absolutely.
Yep.
What's the code for Ponting wines again?
Dribblers.
10% off.
20% off.
20% off.
20% off. Ponting's new wine. Use the code word dribblers and you'll get 20%
It's
off.
fucking good wine.
Pontingwines.com.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Wine.
Unbelievable wines. Now, Panther CEO has invited the game we all care about and froth to see, the Super League champion St Helens to come to Australia and play in the World Club Challenge after ruling out going to England. Do we just scrap the World Club Challenge? Because I don't get excited for it.
I don't give a shit about it.
Would the players be upset about it? Because I was always under the impression that it was a good opportunity to go over there and rip and tear.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole reason for it.
And the English Super League was like, look, we always beat you. It's like, what, you reckon these boys give a shit about this game?
Yeah, no.
They've gone and just
Crumpet it up.
indulged themselves on European crumpet for a week or two, trained once, played hungover, still got the W.
Yeah, in like
the
a
snow.
snowstorm.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about this game.
No.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, sure. Come on, St Helens. Come on out. And if you don't, like this, I just like that we're just setting the agenda. Come if you want.
You know what would be interesting
We're not coming.
is to see
It'd be 60-0 though.
if St Helens came out here and they got caught up in the Australian crumpet game, like we
And
get caught
in
up.
the heat of Australia as well. It's
It'll be
in the
very
summer.
interesting to see what the score was for sure.
They'd get pumped.
Well, that's another thing. If I'm the Super League, like if I'm the champion team over there, I'd be like, let's go to Australia for the summer.
100%.
Watch a bit of cricket. The
Ashes
Ashes is
is on.
on. We'll get shitloads of Aussie crumpet,
Yep.
have the time of our lives, play a little bit of footy, give a shit, and then nip home. I don't know why they haven't begged to swap it
Every time. Yeah.
every time.
Absolutely. Joey Leilua has signed with a Tier 2 English side,
Massive
the Featherstone Roses. This is just like
What the fuck?
he couldn't even get a Super League gig. I'm surprised because
Same.
he can be like
He's still got footy in him.
he's still got footy on him and he can be beastly.
Yeah, he'd murder people in the Super
Mate.
League. Is it?
That is
Yeah.
what a fall
Is it his attitude?
from grace. He was on his day, one of the best centres in the comp.
Absolutely.
He came out and sort of hung a lot of shit on the old Tigers after he left. He's everywhere he's gone. He's kind of left. Apart from Newcastle, I think everywhere he's left, it's kind of been like.
Pretty early though.
He
Was
was
that his first club?
No, Roosters.
Oh,
Knights,
Roosters, that's right.
That's why
Raiders.
whenever someone's like, "Oh, why don't players just come out and talk about their experience?" It's like, because this is what happens. Like other clubs, are like, I'm not signing you. No, I've fucking got to deal with that.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
going to air our dirty laundry.
And not to say that Joey is correct in what he says. Maybe he isn't. He's just saying what he feels.
Are they a chance of going up though? The Featherstone Rovers.
I'm not sure, but
On
again,
name alone, I don't think so.
no.
Featherstone isn't very a rugby league name.
Sounds like a Harry Potter teacher.
Yeah.
But I can get behind that because I like Harry Potter.
Nothing against Harry Potter, but let's not pretend like Dr. Featherstone doesn't exist in Harry Potter somewhere.
Look,
I
they
would
just
watch
rank it tier 2. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong.
But I mean, are you telling me Joey Leilua couldn't go to Super League and bust that fucking league apart?
Yeah, he'd smoke the fuck out
So
of
I'm
those
just
losers.
so surprised, like super surprised. He couldn't get a...
How long did he sign for?
And also, like, it's here too. Like, how much is he getting paid? He's going to go to England.
Also, what I was under the impression that like the bottom 2/3 of the Super League was very ordinary.
Yeah. Is the top...
So the fact that he's in tier 2.
That's what I mean.
What the fuck?
And like, and the top tier, like, so the top 4 sides in Super League probably could play NRL. Like, I believe they'd be down,
Bottom 8.
Maybe 10th to 12th. So the top tier teams, the gap between them, or the top, let's say 4 sides or 5,
NRL standard.
they're probably NRL standard. The gap between us and them isn't as big as we think. The gap between NRL and the bottom sides, though, is nearly not even Q Cup standard, in my opinion. From what I've watched, I could be wrong. I don't watch heaps of games, so it's just from what I've seen. So as you said, like for him to not be able to even get one of those, absolutely wild. Couldn't get a single contract.
It almost seems like it's intentional on his part, like because it just doesn't.
But how much
seem
could they be
possible.
paying him? Like
Maybe they're giving him the club.
Keys. They gave him the keys to Featherstone.
Fucking Featherstone. Maybe Joey owns the club now. I feel like Joey's a club owner.
So they said to him, Joey, if you sign with us, you now own the club.
You own the club.
We can't pay you, but you own the club.
No, we'll pay you in an entire club.
Fuck, it's almost a bit sad, man, because like not sad in the sense like you're still getting to go play footy, but just in how good he is.
It's sort of sad.
Like Joey
like a waste.
Leilua is a beast. Like on his day, he is truly up there with any centre. Like on his day, he was like Tony Staggs is right now.
He was
explosive.
was a handful.
as.
But he was about to get. He was like on the Origin cusp, and I think Ricky, of fighting his own players' fame, was like pulled him out of fucking Origin camp or something. And then I think Jack Bird or Dylan Walker went in there because someone went down, and it was like he was the next man in. But Ricky had said that he wasn't going to allow him to stay with the club, stay with the Origin side. So I think it was that he was like a backup. Then they were wanting him to stay in camp for the duration of it as an 18th man or something. Ricky was like, fuck that, get back to Canberra. Someone goes down and someone else went in instead of Joey.
That's good memory. My memory of it is that Fittler didn't like his attitude. It was like, nah.
I don't think that was it. I think it was that Ricky made him come home to Canberra. Again, that's a Dior though, because I say a lot of stuff.
You could be wrong, is what you're saying. But anyway, congratulations to the Featherstone Rovers. That's a huge coup.
Well, it's a great sale of the club to an NRL player.
It's a great coup.
I wonder if Joey has any experience in running a club.
No.
Maybe he does though.
You never know. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Maybe he has. Maybe that's what he's been studying. Maybe he's been running some, junior sides or some smaller clubs around the country. Now he's trying to go over to the big time.
So, I mean, hopefully he does get a Super League contract because I'm assuming that's his goal. Now, on to the Daily Telegraph is reporting Hodgson Tigers deal has collapsed. He won't be going to the club. Now, it isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal in the sense that the Tigers apparently still have $1 million in their cap. So the really interesting point about this is like, if you're the Tigers, don't you just go, look, whatever you want, brah. Like the first year, we'll pay because the report suggested they were only willing to pay $500K to get Hodgson to the club. And so my opinion on it would be like, if you've still got $1 million in the cap, there's no one else you're going to bring into the squad. Wouldn't you just pay whatever Hodgson wants, at least for that first year? So look, we'll give you $800K the first year. The second year though, we can only give you $600K. So you know what I mean? Thoughts on the deal falling through?
Fuck, if it's fallen through because the Tigers haven't come to the party, then that's, again, their ability to shoot themselves in the foot is fucking
That's a much
phenomenal.
different side with Hodgson in it.
Completely
Tigers,
different side. And then you throw in Peachy, you throw in fucking, who else did they get? I saw a thing, you put up a post the other day of the Tigers' new signings.
Papali next year, yep.
Or if you got, if you're the Tigers, do whatever you have to do to get Hodgson there. Surely.
That's what I mean.
They need troops.
They need troops. He would be
Good
great
troops.
for leadership. And again, you've got $1 million. Now you're going to go into the new year with $1 million in your cap
What
for
if
no
they
reason.
buy Featherstone Rovers, bring Joey back?
That's a plan.
Buy that for $1 million. They now own another club. This is like Monopoly here. They own the Featherstone Rovers. Joey comes back. I know they didn't want him, but now they own a club.
It's smart. It's smart footy.
Yeah.
It's eyes up, smart footy.
Would that fall under the cap? Buying a club?
The club can't play for him technically. Joey can though. So I mean, I don't think it does. I almost think you get a player for free.
But I'm saying, is that like a way around it? You buy the club, you get all the players in the club.
We'd have to call Pete.
Look,
We'd have to
it's
call
a
Pete
tricky
the
one.
LNC,
It's a
but-
tricky deal. But at the end of the day, am I shocked the Tigers have butchered another deal? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I actually thought they might have turned a corner when they got Papali'i. I'm like, that's good
They
stuff.
had a few wins.
That's a nice win. That's a nice win. But they're nickel and diming again, and I can't work out why. Maybe are the coffers empty? Do they like?
Well, he's saying no. They've got $1 million in
Yeah,
their
but
fucking
that's what
cap.
they've got in the cap to spend. Do they have the fucking money? There's a difference. You still got to cough it up. They're nickel and
Well,
dime
I
motherfuckers.
think
Maybe
the
it implies
NRL
that they're a bit.
No, well, I
bit
think
tight.
the NRL provide the money for the cap.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
do. Yeah, no, they do. The
Yeah.
NRL go, here's your money.
Here's your
every
money
year.
for the cap every year. Because clubs would not be able to afford fucking
No,
$9
no,
million.
no.
$9
That'd
million.
be fucked.
No,
No way.
but I'm saying.
That they've what?
I'm
maybe-
saying they. Let's just say they. I think they get 14 million. I think the teams get 14 million a year. That's a deal. The cap's like 9.8. But reckless spending, debts to pay.
Pasco's hair.
Like, you know what I mean?
Pasco's head would cost.
They
like-
don't,
cost
they
a
don't, they don't,
shitload,
they don't
dude.
pack up every season and go, job well done, boys. There's still a bit of money left over. No.
No,
That's not how it works.
Pasco dyes
It's
the hair.
fucking-
He gets it trimmed, blow
it's-
dry. Blow
yeah.
dry is if you actually see, like, for people that get their hair done, like chicks and shit, but obviously Pasco as well, the cost of getting a blow dry even, let alone
good blowy.
colour.
Good blowy
A good
cost you.
blowy will
And
fucking cost you.
He colour and
He gets colour.
he gets the whole nine.
A blowy.
he gets a colour and a dry every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking adds up.
Trimming,
does
like
up.
just he gets it just touched up, the fucking few
Changes
mils
looks
off.
a lot. Changes looks a lot.
Yeah.
Like to strip the colour out and then put the new colour in. That's expensive stuff.
Stripping colour's fucking expensive as well.
Stripping
He
colours and blowies.
goes high end as well. It'd be $500 a week.
Yeah.
52 weeks
He's
a
at
year.
the tippity top of the hairdressing game. Like, he's looking for the Ridgy
Oh,
Jidge.
he's not
Joe
going.
Bailey's of
He's
the
not going
world.
around the corner to Uncle Mo's barber.
Exactly right.
They burn through the coin. Don't worry about that.
If you're stripping colour and getting blowies, it's going to hurt the pocket.
Without a doubt. So maybe that's why. And there's no fucking benefit to Hodgson. You can't offer him blowies and fucking colour. He doesn't have
You don't
hair.
have any hair. That's what they tried to offer him. He said,
Yeah.
I don't have any fucking hair.
We can offer you blowies and weekly blowies, a cut and a dry, bit of colour. He's like, I don't have hair. They're like, fuck. We want a wig?
Maybe they went the wig
The
route.
blows still move
Blowies?
better.
You still want a blowy?
Just blowing nothing.
Nah.
Look, it's I guess it isn't surprising, but it would be disappointing if that was part of the deal, blowies and stripping of colour, especially with a guy like Hodgson.
Who doesn't
Maybe
have
they could
hair.
have gone for a hooker that does have hair.
Yeah.
The Knights have signed Enari Tuala. I mean, if this bloke isn't getting hotter by the second, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
what's
he's
happening.
hot. Anari's hot. Anari's a model. Anari's a good-looking young kid. 2 years, was it? I believe.
2023, so 2 years.
Love
Yes.
that for Enari. Love that for Enari. I would say this to Enari. I bet Enari's going, fuck, I hope Ponga stays.
Do you think secretly you might want him to leave because then he's the only hot boy? And because Connor has gone now, you know what? It was the hot boy money that they would have used for Connor. They've now
They've
used for
kept it
Enari.
for Enari.
Yeah, it sits in a separate pot.
Yeah, okay.
It sits in a separate
That
pot.
makes sense
So it
why it
doesn't
took so
get,
long.
muddied.
You don't want to be spending hot boys' money on not hot boys. That's stupid.
We keep
It
this
corrupts
for-
the coin.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can't have that. Enari, great name as well.
Great name. One of the great names. So
That's a
congratulations.
hot name.
It's a hot name. I think we were speaking about this. He's like the hot, cool guy at school. It's
Oh,
like
he owns a leather jacket,
definitely
but
owns
not a
leather-
cringe leather jacket.
No. It looks good. It's
Yeah.
almost like well worn in as well. It's
Yeah.
like this guy isn't just bought some real stiff. My mum bought me a stiff leather jacket once. Actually, that's triggered me.
What
mum-
happened to it?
I never wore it. I wore it out once, and I was like, "This is fucking the worst thing in the world." She
Was
went to
it like the Kyle Kuzma thing where you were like,
sort of. My sister was living in
instead of your
Italy.
missus, it was your mum, and
sister-
you didn't feel comfortable with it?
Yes, my sister was living in Italy, And I think she worked at some sort of store where they sold, I think, like a clothing store or some shit. Mum comes back like, I got your leather jacket. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like 22 at the time, thinking like, fuck it, I'll rock a leather jacket. And it was like smooth, like no wrinkle in it. You know, like a cool leather jacket's a bit sort of crunchy and shit. This was just like, and I remember wearing it to like the Oak or something in AA, and I'm just like, fucking.
You look like an old biker.
Did people say anything?
The boys lit me up. I was just
Oh,
like,
you get lit up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Lit off the bat.
100%. I
Bounces, everything.
Not for a second did I get any compliment. It was like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, well, okay. Thank
Did you throw
Mum.
it out or?
It was hung up in the cupboard for a long time.
You
I don't
still
know.
got it?
No.
Oh, damn.
Don't have it. I don't know where it is.
Was it leather?
Oh, no, it was leather. It was like a really nice leather jacket. But
colour?
it was like black.
So you,
Shiny as fuck. I looked like an idiot.
does your mum know you still don't have it? Because she would have spent big money on that.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
she
know.
was
Italian leather.
Far out.
I don't know if she spent
Almost
big
ungrateful.
money on it, but it was...
Leather jackets aren't cheap.
Look, listen,
Unless it's pleather. Was it pleather?
I don't know my leathers. I don't.
I
She
thought
could've
you were a
lied to
man
me.
that would know your leathers.
I know. Most people do think that, but I don't know my leathers. What I will say is this. I don't look good in it. Leather's not my material, or at least...
What is your material?
Linen. I like linen.
You're a linen
I'm
man.
not going to lie. I do like a linen shirt.
Yeah, linen is very private school boy.
Yeah, look, it is. I can't
deny it.
But have you worn a linen shirt before?
I have. I didn't feel it the way you felt it
Bruz, linen's just like, yeah, man.
What do you like? Cotton?
though. Just
Or polyester.
very
It's
simple.
polyester.
Very
It's
simple.
the bogan
Very
silk.
simple. Yeah, just very simple stuff.
Polyester?
Polyester.
Honestly,
Or like a nice blend, maybe 50-50.
Yeah,
50-50.
yeah,
I'll go
yeah.
50-50. Yeah, just
You like
whatever
a blend?
works.
Yeah.
A poly blend.
Poly blend.
What about
Poly cotton
yourself?
blend?
You look like a polo kind of man.
What's polo mean?
Well, like you wear polos.
Yeah, he's a collars guy.
Yeah, collars guy. No?
Sometimes.
No, he's
What are you
he's
then?
a collar guy. For
Yeah,
sure.
he's a collar guy.
Yeah,
Won't
he's
admit
a
it.
collar guy.
What do you
How
think? you are?
many times a week do you reckon I wear coloured shirts?
See, this is what.
But also like
Fucking-
it's not.
Well,
Just,
when do you become a collar guy?
When
How
you
many?
wear-
or
fucking
when
collars.
deep inside you would like to wear a collar.
yeah,
Like every day?
Not every
I
day.
could wear it every day?
Like
Is that what you're saying?
if you go to golf and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, this is
Yeah,
mad
yeah.
kit. That's
Yeah.
a collar guy.
He's a moleskins collared guy. Tuck your shirt in, sort of an
Yeah,
operator.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Fit, so you want to show off that you're fit and healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fit and healthy.
Okay, so you are a collar guy, you reckon?
No, he's a collar
I
guy.
don't mind a collar. No, I'd wear them every day if I could.
yeah. He's a collar guy.
I just don't have enough coloured shirts. If I had more coloured shirts, I'd wear them
Oh,
every day.
you've got collared shirts. Come
No,
on,
not
I've
enough.
seen them. I've seen the
Well, I'd wear them
cupboard.
every day if I'm a coloured
Mate,
guy. Surely.
with them.
Surely coloured guys wear
We're
them
actually
every day.
thinking about releasing collared bloke shirts, like
There you
for
go.
golfing and that.
There we
Yeah,
go. Perfect.
for-
I'll try them on.
He's
I'll
probably
run my-
you know what? Yeah,
I'll run my
let me
eyes.
know. Let me know. And if
They're
we
not,
ever
they're not
release,
easy to get. Get
yeah,
right.
all right.
You got to have a
tell
fucking
me.
high collar as well.
Most people fuck them.
Okay, you tell me. You can be the collar.
No, I will. I will.
A guy I know, I remember going to a pub once, and this was like,
Who?
I won't say his name on here, but you know him. But it
I
was
don't know.
like,
Oh, we don't know him.
Well, how are you gonna let me know who it is?
I'll tell you later. It was like, it's the epitome when you're talking about like linen shirt being private school thing or just like collars. He was wearing 3 collars to the pub. He had
What?
He had a collared shirt,
I know
and
who
then
it
he
is.
had a collared jumper, and then he had a collared vest. And I was like, bruz, you have fucking 3 collars on. What the hell is wrong with you? And they were all up.
Oh, they were all up.
Yeah, it looked like fucking Bank West. It was like steep fucking stadium seating of just collars.
So he's just.
You don't see that often.
You don't see the
You
pop
do in
of.
the eastern suburbs and some of the fucking pubs, but I'd never seen 3.
That's almost
yeah,
offensive.
the Royal, you see him getting around.
3 collars
AFL's
is the most collars I've seen backed up against each other.
Is that how many times they're going to receive inheritance, or maybe how many?
It could be. Or
For
how
every
many
pop
Section
collar.
10s they've got. How many
Yeah.
times a lawyer's got them off a charge.
Yes.
3 collars.
Because that's almost. It's an aggressive play. 3 popped collars.
3 pop collars.
It's like you're walking in. That's almost walking in with your cock out.
Yeah.
Could you squeeze 4 in the right weather?
You would, it'd be an overcoat.
Yeah,
That'd be a
like
nice-
in New York in the winter.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah.
Shit.
All popped.
You probably see 4
Collared
collars
shirt,
over there.
I
Collared
reckon you'd
jumper,
get done for
collared
indecent
vest,
exposure.
collared
I reckon
thing
you could pull your cock out and not get done for indecent exposure before you got done for 4 collars.
Yeah, I think that you should be. I think you'd make a very good case to lock someone up for that many collars.
Look, yeah. I don't think you'd see it often in Australia. It doesn't get cold enough for 4 collars.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Maybe Canberra, but I don't think there wouldn't be 4 collar guys down there, would there?
not many.
Not
I
in
don't think
Canberra.
there's many
If any.
4 collars. No.
Nah, you get chipped too quickly. Whereas eastern suburbs, you can kind of rock it because it's like, you know.
Did he get
Oh, that
chipped?
guy's got-
Did he get chipped 3-collar guy?
Well, I chipped him. I was like, bro, that's a lot of collars you got on. That seems like far too many collars.
Do you reckon he just didn't want to get sunburn on his neck?
It was a cold day. Well, like it wasn't sun protection. It was like
Was it nighttime or daytime?
it was afternoon, so it was overcast and it was afternoon.
So it's totally unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary.
Holy shit! I've never
Was he
seen
aware
that.
that he had 3 collars on? Was he cognizant?
Oh, he knew they were fucking. He knew he had 3 collars.
He was.
Yeah. You can't rock 3 collars popped without knowing it.
Dude, like it's
Yeah,
it's
that's a good
uncomfortable
point.
even
Yeah.
to start with. Like collar on
It's
collar.
almost
on
like
collar.
a Tatey neck brace.
Like, you know, if you got like a collared shirt on, there's a jumper over it. Like, unless you can fucking pop that thing over the top of the jumper, it's uncomfortable. Having
No,
3
otherwise
collars
it's
is
squash.
Yeah, it's squash. 3 collars is you've got 3 collars.
Wake up with a bad neck.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
it's almost like a fucking neck brace.
Like Tatey's neck
Yeah.
brace.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
Tate
yeah,
neck
yeah,
brace.
Even Tatey wouldn't wear 3 neck collars.
No, you never would.
3 neck braces. Well, that would have been a bit much.
You know what? Maybe you should have worn 3 neck braces.
Well,
I've seen him wear 2. I never saw him wear
I never
3.
saw him wear 3. Definitely didn't see him wear 3. It would have been difficult to play.
Fucking hell.
Anyway.
Now, interesting article. Now, I feel like we get these articles every single year, but I do think they're not merit in the sense that the Storm are cracking, but I think the Storm are dealing with things they've never had to deal with before. So there's a Fox Sports article written about how the cracks are showing at the Storm, but we seem to see this all the time, and they're always near the top, as I said. So basically, at the Storm, they've had to deal with off-season controversy that they normally, well, I don't think they've ever had to deal with that when it comes to players cleaning their clothes with Omo. We've never seen that before.
No.
At the Storm anyway. Omo, you know, it's been around for a while in other clubs.
Oh, yeah. Almost used in rugby league.
But to blokes to clean as well as they have, that's new to the Storm. Then they've got, you know, Munster earlier coming out saying, oh, you would like to go back to Queensland. Then you've got Jerome Hughes, manager, coming out and saying, you know, that Hughes is probably not going to take up his option in 2024. And so I just wanted to speak to you guys about, do you think that we are seeing truly the beginnings of a new, tougher era for the Storm because they don't have the old heads to keep everyone in line?
Yeah, I've been fucking thinking that like every year with the Storm. Oh, then fucking Cronk goes, then Slater goes, then Smith goes. Like,
But we never had to deal with stuff like this.
no,
ever.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's always been something though. There's
Yeah,
always been
absolutely.
something, and it's just like, oh, it could have been the fucking salary cap scandal when they got all their points taken, and
Yep.
they would have come fourth if they'd kept all their points. They were like, fuck it, right? We're playing for no points. We still come in the top 4, I think, or top 8. But like, to me, until they don't make the top 8, or until they don't make the top 4.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no cracks for me. It's like, yeah, sure, this shit's like, there's some cracks. You could call them cracks, but they've still got a hectic side, a hectic coach, and they were 1 win away. They played their worst game of the season in the grand final qualifier and would have been there and probably would have won it.
Look, it's certainly not ideal. These couple of little hiccups, but it's about whether or not they become consistent. Like if fucking Munster and shit go, well, a little bit too close to the sun there and tighten things up, then it's not a problem.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if this is the fucking warning they needed to have and now they're sweet, then
Yep.
I don't see any problems whatsoever. If it keeps happening, if it becomes like a consistent thing,
Yeah.
then maybe. But still, there's a long way between a scandal and it affecting the Bellamy system on game day.
Yeah, totally.
The only thing that I'm like, interesting eyebrow raise was them playing one of their worst games of the season in that preliminary final. Then you're like, oh, are they lacking a little bit of like...
Well, I think losing Cheese and Welsh like just made the problem way worse in the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. That is so un-Storm-like to play so poorly in such a big game.
Although they did play... There was a couple of those games even when the big boys were running around. Like they didn't have that Warriors game in 2011 when the Warriors beat them. Did they play particularly well in that game?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? Like every now and then it's
Yeah.
going to happen. At the end of the day, I think they'll finish in the top 4 next year. I think they'll fucking
Go
real close to winning another comp. And
Yep.
then guess what? The year after that, I think they'll probably finish in the top 4, and I think they'll go close again.
Don't forget, 2011 was fresh off the whole club getting cleaned out as well.
And also I do believe this is unique things the Storm hasn't had to deal with. But also, we have to remember, because they played so poorly in that last game, we forget they had a record year, without any of the big dogs. And so I think that last game has really not poisoned our view of it, but you know what I mean? It's like muddied the waters a bit.
Even
when in
just the fact
reality,
they didn't win the comp, right?
Yeah, they didn't win the comp.
If they'd won the comp, no one would be saying shit.
Well, say Storm as business usual again, but they actually had a record year. So you could even make the argument that the season-wise, it was the best season the club's ever had. It was points, wins. Oh, not wins. I don't think. Oh, wins in a row. So yeah, look, it is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they navigate this next 12 months, because you don't want to create a culture of players saying, "Oh, I'm going somewhere else and I'm not going to do this." But you're right. It's all about if it keeps happening, then there's worry. But I agree with you guys. I think that business as usual. They'll come back. Bellamy will whip into shape. If anything, I think the Cheese and Munster thing actually makes them scarier, because it's like two senior players now that are really important to them pull their head in and go, "Fuck, we want to be on the straight and narrow from now on." But it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. Anything else, boys? Anything else happened in the life of Hello Sport?
Eddie, I don't think there is.
No, I think that's it, man.
That's it. Yeah,
I think we've covered that.
I think we've covered it all pretty comprehensively.
Anything else in the? Anything else in the cricket that's been happening other than Tim Paine?
Fuck no, this is it. Well, Pat Cummins probably going to be the new captain. In fact, almost you guarantee it, and he's on.
But not released.
No, we were announced yesterday, which was pretty cool for us. Actually, as the face, they had to take Tim Paine off the front cover of the game.
Yep.
It was Tim Paine and Meg Lanning, who was the female captain, and then they had to take Tim off, and then they thought, "Fuck, we're just gonna have to overhaul the whole thing," and they put us on the cover.
Well, congratulations, congratulations.
Thanks. Cricket 2022.
Yep.
Cricket 2020. Oh, and just quickly, the Warriors' new recruit Pene has come out and said the Warriors have the stock or the cattle for at least a top 4 finish.
Yeah, heard that.
Thoughts on that?
I don't think so.
You disagree?
Look, if it was a lean year and there wasn't much doing, then sure.
If the Warriors were playing in the Super League,
yep, I'd be like, cool. Or maybe Group 10 or something.
Yeah,
sure. I reckon you're a shot.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Well, you think Group 10 they're just top 4? They're not premiership winners?
No, I don't think
they're
so.
top 4. I comfortably say they're top 4.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd win the minor premiership.
I don't think they'd necessarily win the whole thing.
No, I mean they might. They're in the top 4. That's all I can say categorically. But Warriors in the top 4 next year, I think there is
not a great chance of that happening.
1% chance of that happening.
Yeah.
What I do like though is he's bringing an attitude of no long. You don't want a guy going there. Oh yeah, we'll do it right. You want people going. No, we're not taking that anymore. We're not taking this. Oh, we'll just finish in the. We'll be lucky to make the finals. You want to bring that attitude of
it's that fighting attitude of I'm gonna win.
Absolutely. Make sure to subscribe to the Hello Sport podcast on all your good podcasting apps. You've got the Ricky Ponting interview, 6 p.m. this Sunday. You got Tom Trbojevic, Jake Trbojevic, or was that already?
No. Ricky Ponting's already been done. Turbo and Jake drops this Sunday, and we're also speaking to Christian Welsh this week as well.
Also speaking to Christian Welsh. So go and subscribe to Hello Sport podcast for all of those interviews. Also follow Hello Sport on Instagram. Join the Punters and Dribblers Facebook group. Join the Bloke Club as well, www.bloke.club. It's free to join, takes 2 seconds, and we have plenty of rewards for Bloke Club members, and I will go and fuck myself. Thank you.